not far from the black bear you were looking at, actually. Go on, check.
All right, so we're here on the mountain in Alaska, here for Kowa and Rem's caribou hunt, and it's a great opportunity to put these two spotters to test. So head to head here, we got the Swaro ATS 80 millimeter, and then we got a Kowa 88 millimeter with the high-end glass, and then this Kowa actually has the 25 to 60 wide angle eyepiece. On the Swaro, we're just running the standard 20 to 60 eyepiece. So it's about, what, almost 10 p.m. now?
Let's see here.
It's 10:20 right now.
10:20 p.m. So we're really starting to lose a little bit of daylight. Perfect opportunity to put them to the test. And yeah, we're looking at, well, we got about 6 or 7 bears to choose from on the hillside. I would say, what do you guys think, 3 or 4 miles away?
Yeah, at least 3 miles for sure.
Probably 3 miles as a crow flies. So we've got both spotters locked on, a big sow and 2 cubs. And we're just going to talk a little bit here in the next few minutes kind of about the differences and which one ultimately we like better. So, well, first impression with the Kowa 88 is you definitely have a huge field of view. So it's easy to get those bears in the field of view that you want to see. To find them on the hillside was pretty easy. And then the fine adjustment knob, so it has a main adjustment and then a fine adjustment. And I noticed with that fine adjustment you can really get some good clarity. And it's also gathering a lot of light. So being 88 millimeter, I can tell that it's way brighter through the scope than it is looking with the bare naked eye right now.
Yeah, and so for the Swaro, similar. I mean, even though it's the 80 millimeter objective, it's still gathering quite a bit of light in comparison to the natural daylight that's out here currently. And yeah, just a few minutes ago we were picking up these bears, and they were over there tussling around and fighting, and we were able to see the brown snouts on the cubs as they were wrestling around. And at that moment, I would say that when we were bouncing back and forth, that the clarity was very similar between the Swaro and the Kowa. And the light gathering, like I said, is pretty much the same to my eye when we were bouncing back and forth. But yeah, it's really hard to tell the difference between the two for me.
Let's give it another try here. I think I got good zoom. Let's switch. Good idea of what it looks like here.
Yeah, so just right off the bat from the switch, I do feel like this is bringing in just a touch more light to my eye right now. The clarity, like I said, is pretty similar for me when going back and forth between the two.
Yeah, I would echo that. So just a little, I don't even want to say darker, but just not quite as much light gathering. And I think that's because of the objective size difference. But man, the crystal clear glass of the Swaro, it's like the second I came over, there's just no graininess or anything. It is crystal clear, still picking out little legs of the cubs, and yeah, it's pretty crazy for sure. And then just to be clear, both spotters are maxed out on the power, because that's really where, if anything is going to get darker or show some imperfections, that's where it's going to be. So the Swaro we got on 60 power, and Kowa's on 60 as well. But overall, I mean, you know, pretty similar specs, but that wide angle with the field of view and then the light that it's bringing in, it's pretty dang hard to beat, I would say.
Yeah, after using both all day long and then using this one in the evening, I don't think that anybody, if they were looking at either of these as an option to carry around in their bag, I don't think that anybody could go wrong. Swaro's kind of the tried and true, and it's got the big name that everyone's kind of used to. But I wouldn't discount the Kowa at all, at least in the applications that we've used it in so far this hunt.
Yeah, and we'll list the specs. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I think the weights are pretty darn similar. And we're running the newer Exo Mountain Gear packs, and both spotters fit into the side pouch of the pack just fine. So even being the 88 millimeter, no problem sliding that thing right in the side pouch. And then this 80 with the stay-on case, same thing, slides in no problem. Really a great setup to have the spotter on one side and then the tripod slid in on the other. It's all fits pretty nicely and balances the weight well. Yeah, we took a couple phone scope videos, so like I said, we got 5 or 6 different bears over there. We'll post up the phone scope videos from both. They both, have a great field of view, running similar iPhones, so it should be a good comparison on the phone scope videos as well. Yeah, great opportunity to glass, and hopefully this helps someone in their decision on a spotter purchase. Couldn't go wrong with either, but overall I think from what I'm seeing, I'd have to give a little bit of edge to the Kowa, and I mean, it is a bigger optic, so I think that's helping out, but I think it's got just a little bit of an edge on light gathering, which is obviously super important when that's, when you're getting the majority of your movement with animals is very end of the evening and first thing in the morning.
Yeah, so I mean, Bryant mentioned we'll do the specs, but I do believe the Kowa is just a few ounces heavier. So I mean, if you're able to manage a few more ounces in your pack, then yeah, you might gather a little bit more light in the later evenings. But yeah, either way, I think both of these setups, we've looked through quite a few different spotters, and by far these two have kind of stood out head and shoulders above the rest for this objective kind of class that they're in.